Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Let's say your mayor in your town, in your city, tells the residents of your city, guys, you gotta evacuate. What does it mean? That means that something will happen and you need to evacuate. You gotta go eastward, okay? In this case, you gotta go westward, okay? Go westward, don't go eastward. What does it mean? That something from east comes towards your town and we can't prevent that from happening. It's an imminent situation, or at least we most likely expect it to occur. Alright, so let's put a definition first and then the weasel talk second, okay? The weasel talk is this. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda. It is from today, November 19th, 2022. Ukraine begins evacuation from Kherson and Mykolaiv Oblasts. I wonder why. We'll see my little speech 27 seconds ago. Voluntary evacuation from the liberated Kherson and Mykolaiv Oblasts have already begun, and the state is paying all related costs. All right, let's unpack this BS. So voluntary evacuation, that means they tell you, guys, if you want to leave, you can leave. Well, we know if we want to leave, we can leave. But why do you come and tell us that? And then he says, the state is paying all the related costs. Well, let me tell you something. Ukrainian state doesn't have those money or that money. Guess who's paying? You and me. Why? Remember, Biden gave, I don't know how many millions, about 800 millions to take care of and this is the last package, gave to Ukraine for state salaries and the good functioning of the state, aid. So we pay for those guys. That's fine. That's fine. But I'm pretty sure I will pay for myself for my presents for Christmas, right? Or the government will pay for my taxes. All right, so this is how things go. The source is Ukrinform with references to Irina Vereshchuk, Minister of Reintegration. She's a smart girl, I can tell you that. I heard her on a few occasions. I think that's what she is, Irina Vereshchuk, Minister of Reintegration of Temporarily Occupied Territory, and Vitaly Kim, the head of the Mykolaiv Oblast Military Administration. I don't think Kim is too bright, but anyway, I heard this person, Vitaly, he said a few things in the past that I was like, okay, but you say what you need to say. I shouldn't be that critical. Quote from Vereshchuk. Voluntary evacuation from the liberated territory of the southern part of Ukraine has already begun, and the state is paying all costs and taking all responsibility associated with this process. And you're going to hear what exactly is covered. Like the government covers for you and for me in our richest countries. It means that everyone can live to safer regions if they want. And the state will provide for their transportation. Okay? Well, it's good. Medical care, accommodation, etc. Basically everything. Any alcohol too? No? Shows? Movie? No? So the state is going to pay for transportation, accommodation, Medicare, etc. Means everything you might need. That's great. I'm good for that. I'm good with that. But we shouldn't have gotten to this situation. And I'm quoting, our task is to reach everyone, to offer them to live through Mykolaiv or Kryvyi Rih to the western oblasts of Ukraine. We have the funds for this. Yes, you do that with funds. We have understanding and, most importantly, experience. As unfortunately you have experience, that means you have to do it again, before. Because we have already done this in Kharkiv Oblast, Donetsk Oblast, etc. Details. Meanwhile, Vitaly Kim, the head of the Mykolaiv Oblast Military Administration, has noted that lists of those willing to evacuate are being made in the liberated cities, towns and villages of the oblast. transit point has been created in Mykolaiv where people can stay for a week before evacuation. From there, they are being sent to different regions of Ukraine where places to live have been prepared for them. Well, background. On November 13th, Yaroslav Yanushevich, the head of Kherson Oblast state administration, called on residents of the liberated territory in the region to evacuate due to the high risk of enemy attacks. That is the last sentence of this article. And this is on November 13th, now in November 19th. So, called on residents of the liberated territories in the region to evacuate due to high risk of enemy attacks. All of a sudden? Yeah, because the Russians are in offensive. I made a video earlier with some people in, I know it was Donetsk, and they reported, the Russians, that their military troops, they call them militia troops over there, they're all in offensive on all fronts and advancing. That's not offensive, advancing on all fronts. Now I hope they go westward and they don't go eastward, like Churchill said, advance to the coast. Do you mean retreat? No, just advance to the coast. Remember, I said that many times with, the Second World War, when they got their ass kicked and they were all running to the coast and they had the sea, English channel, and the Germans said, okay, Hitler said, warte, wait, give them some 24 hours or 48 hours. Remember that one? And they got lifted by the boats coming from England, Great Britain. Remember that, right? So anyway, evacuation. You see, you have to you have to read between the lines what that means. You wouldn't evacuate something if something bad is about to happen. And the last sentence kind of tells us what happened on the 13th. But if they say it now again, on the 19th, that means something is coming over. And I don't think it's the wind and the weather coming from Siberia. I think it's something else with some bullets. Unfortunately, I don't celebrate these kind of things because they play with human lives. And if you're an adult and you say, you know what, fuck it, I can figure things out somehow, I will do something. But you have children. What are you doing with the children? I mean, really, that's or old people. On the other hand, I would say, well, old people, nobody wants to die, but you look back and say, well, what the hell, I'm 80-something, I'm past due, I don't know, 12 years already, based on whatever life expectancy of Ukraine, so I'm okay. If that's how I would think. Yeah, but I think like right now, when I'm still, you know what I mean? But when I'm going to be, then what am I going to say? Oh, fuck, no, give me one more second. Another one, please. Probably, but in the meantime, you think about this most vulnerable. They're all vulnerable over there, the population. But I'm talking about children and old people. But the children, the old people, as I said, you lived your life. You don't want to die. But, I have more compassion for the children who come to live in this kind of circumstance and they didn't get the chance to, love or enjoy certain pleasure of life. And simply be alive, with the families, with friends, with whatever they would like to do. That's sadder than anything else. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.